this is Colin Dixon with nScreen Media, and I'm at OTT TV World Summit in London. And I'm sitting with Alice Mascia, VP of Strategy for Sky Deutschland. And Alice, you gave a fascinating presentation earlier today talking about the way you are bifurcating your market. You're attacking all areas of the market, and particularly in OTT. So tell us just briefly about Sky Deutschland and the core offerings, and then let's talk about these new exciting new offerings.
Sure. Sky Deutschland traditionally has distributed its content across all different platforms, satellite definitely, but also cable and IPTV. And I think that's a nice way to complement that we have introduced in 2010 is definitely Sky Go, which allows our customers to watch their content across different platforms, particularly the smaller screen, laptops and down. And I think that we have been working now with this proposition for 4 years, having recorded in the last 12 months more than 100 viewing sessions. So that's a really big success for us. I think more recently we moved into the over-the-top space. I think, as Colin was mentioning, 1 year ago, almost 1 year ago, with Snap, with basically a product that is monetizing the deep library for movies and series across connected devices. And more recently, a couple of weeks ago, with Sky Online, which is bringing the premium content of Sky over the top with more flexibility in terms of devices, but also more flexibility in terms of contract.
So let's talk about Snap first.
Yeah.
So Snap is a really completely different take on your approach to the market, right? Here, you're going right up against other SVOD providers, and of course, you know only so well that Netflix has arrived in your market now. Now, over the last few years, GfK released some data that really shows that, in effect, pay television has stayed essentially flat, but SVOD has grown considerably. So having Snap in market, that means you can participate in that growth in SVOD, right?
Absolutely. So I think that's definitely one of the aims, giving us the possibility to grow when the market is growing. We did it successfully with our core business in the last years. We want to do that now with over the top. I think SVOD is growing very nicely, still from a very small initial point, but we definitely is really showing very promising growth rates. And Snap, from this perspective, is using content, library content, that traditionally wouldn't be on free-to-air or in some partner channels with a very small audience, and putting this together and fitting more what are the habits, the viewing habits that the customers are adopting on connected devices, and allowing them to enjoy the content that they love in the way they prefer. I think from this perspective, it's very nicely integrated with our pay TV offer, because I think usually we do use Snap as a complement for our traditional pay TV offer. Typically, you will watch on Snap the previous seasons of the series, which are on our premium product. We do that with the HBO content. We do that with the big series like 24, and I think it's definitely working very nicely.
And you even have some HBO content which you get to watch before I do on the west coast of the United States, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's rather on Sky Online and on Sky. Snap, I think it's a good point about Snap is that we do have exclusive the HBO library on Snap.
Exclusive is so important in that market, right?
Yeah, I think exclusivity is very important because Germany hasn't have such a huge pay TV market so far. So, and it's very difficult to differentiate yourself from free-to-air, and exclusivity only on is a market message that the customers would understand, right? So usually typical message like first on or only on is something that is definitely pretty compelling from a customer perspective. Definitely what we have done then in Sky Online, our new just introduced product, is putting the content that we do have distributed traditionally on managed platforms, satellite, cable and IPTV, on an over-the-top platform which is accessible by any or a big range of connected devices, definitely growing, and which allows customers to get a taste of pay TV on their own terms. So with contracts which are definitely more flexible, it's 1 month contract versus minimum 12-month contract, and also with a kind of approach, an on-demand approach that is more fitting with some of the genres that are particularly appealing for the target group that would be in the focus for Sky Online.
Right, you did. I noticed that there was one horror category that you created.
I think horror, I'm not giving away any big secret, is something that works very well in on-demand products. Yes, I think that ideally what we try to do is putting some fun in the editorial aggregation, particularly on Snap, and in occasions like Halloween or other occasions like, I don't know, a Friday 13th or 17th if you're Italian. We will definitely indulge with this kind of fantastic editorial aggregation that we do. But it's for everybody. Like we also had something fantastic that was Girls Love Sex and the City, right? So where we were bringing together girls, which is considered by a lot of people like the new Sex and the City, and Sex and the City, the whole all the seasons and all the movies. So it's definitely something that you can do very nicely in such platforms, and we definitely want to provide this kind of entertainment to our customers.
So this is a great story. It sounds like you're able to participate with the traditional approach with satellite television and now with the SVOD approach in two ways, but both through a regular subscription with 1 month commitment and just an ad hoc day-by-day, item-by-item basis. This is a great aggressive approach into the OTT arena, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we look at over-the-top as an opportunity for reaching to new target groups. And we can do it more traditionally, like with Sky Online, because it's still pay TV content, premium pay TV content, but also with an innovative approach and with a very aggressive pricing, $3.99 with Snap.
Yeah. Well, Alice, thank you very much for this conversation, and I hope you continue with your success with those products and enjoy the rest of the show.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
This has been Colin Dixon with nScreen Media.